3 dangerous seafoods seniors must avoid and 3 that heal your heart, brain, and joints. Introduction. Imagine sitting down to a seafood dinner you've always considered healthy: grilled tilapia, a tuna salad sandwich, or crispy fried catfish. For millions of Americans over 60, these meals are staples, chosen for their lean protein and heart-healthy reputation. But what if I told you that these very dishes could be silently damaging your heart, inflaming your joints, and fogging your brain? As a physician with decades of experience caring for older adults, I've seen how seemingly harmless seafood choices can erode health, steal energy, and threaten independence. Conversely, other marine foods, often overlooked or dismissed as strange, are powerful allies, helping reverse aging from the inside out, supporting mobility, clarity, and longevity. Stroke, arthritis, and cognitive decline are not inevitable parts of aging. They're often tied to our daily choices, including what's on our plates. A 2023 Journal of Gerontology study estimates that 40% of seniors over 65 face chronic inflammation, a root cause of heart disease, joint pain, and dementia, often exacerbated by diet. The CDC reports that foodborne toxins and contaminants contribute to 48 million illnesses annually, with seniors facing a 60% higher risk of severe outcomes due to weakened immune systems. Yet, the right seafoods, eaten weekly, can reduce inflammation, protect neurons, and strengthen bones, adding years to your life and vitality to your days. In this 26-minute guide, we'll uncover the 3 most dangerous seafood seniors should never touch: tilapia, canned albacore tuna, and farm-raised catfish, backed by science from Harvard, the FDA, and environmental health perspectives. These foods, marketed as healthy, harbor inflammatory fats, heavy metals, and banned chemicals that burden aging bodies. We'll also explore 3 marine superfoods: sardines, wild-caught Alaskan salmon, and Atlantic mackerel, that nourish your heart, sharpen your mind, and keep you moving well into your 70s, 80s, or 90s. Through patient stories like George, Carol, and Frank, who suffered from misguided choices, and Evelyn, Robert, and Linda, who thrived with smarter ones, we'll translate research into practical steps. This isn't about fear. It's about empowerment, about choosing foods that heal rather than harm. Before we dive in, I'd love to connect with you. In the comments, share your age, where you're reading from, and one seafood you eat regularly. Are you feeling stiff, tired, or foggy? Let's build a community of seniors committed to aging with strength and clarity, one plate at a time. Section 1. Tilapia, the healthy fish that poisons joints and brain. Tilapia is often touted as the safe, affordable seafood choice, light, versatile, and widely available. But for seniors over 60, this fish, especially farm-raised varieties dominating U.S. supermarkets, is one of the most inflammatory foods you can eat. Its high omega-6 fatty acid content, sometimes exceeding that of bacon, fuels chronic inflammation, a silent driver of joint pain, heart disease, and cognitive decline. American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2022. Unlike omega-3s, which calm inflammation, omega-6 amplify it, and aging bodies with reduced fat metabolism struggle to balance this ratio. A 2021 arthritis research and therapy study linked high omega-6 diets to a 30% increase in arthritis symptoms in seniors. Worse, 95% of U.S. tilapia is imported from overseas farms, often in regions with lax regulations. FDA, 2023. These fish are raised in crowded, unsanitary ponds, fed corn, soy, or animal waste, and dosed with antibiotics banned in the U.S., such as chloramphenicol, which is linked to liver toxicity. Environmental health perspectives, 2020. These contaminants linger in the fish, accumulating in your body with each bite, stressing organs already slowed by age. Consider George, a 74-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. He ate grilled tilapia weekly, believing it was heart healthy. Yet, he suffered persistent knee pain and hand swelling, with blood tests showing elevated C-reactive protein, CRP, a marker of inflammation. His omega-3 levels were critically low. After removing tilapia and adding omega-3 rich fish, his pain dropped by 50% in 2 months. "I thought I was eating right," he said, shaking his head. George's story isn't unique. Chronic inflammation from tilapia can silently erode joint cartilage, stiffen arteries, and fog cognition, increasing dementia risk by 15% in high omega-6 diets. Neurology 2021. The solution? Avoid tilapia, especially farm-raised. Check labels for origin. Opt for U.S.-sourced or wild-caught fish if you must eat it, but better alternatives exist. Your joints and brain deserve nourishment, not punishment. Practical takeaway: eliminate tilapia from your diet, especially farm-raised varieties. Replace it with omega-3 rich options. See below. Reflect. How often do you eat tilapia, and what's one alternative you can try? Section 2. Canned albacore tuna, the toxic pantry staple. Canned albacore tuna is a go-to for seniors. Cheap, convenient, and lean. But for those over 65, it's a toxic trap due to high mercury levels. Albacore, a larger tuna species, accumulates 3 times more mercury than skipjack or light tuna. FDA, 2023. As we age, kidneys and livers lose efficiency, reducing our ability to clear heavy metals by 20% after 60. Environmental Toxicology 2020. Mercury crosses the blood-brain barrier, damaging neurons and contributing to memory loss, tremors, and coordination issues. Carol, a 69-year-old widow from Pennsylvania, ate albacore tuna daily for lunch, thinking it was heart healthy. She developed brain fog, tremors, and forgetfulness, with blood tests revealing elevated mercury levels. After eliminating albacore and boosting detox nutrients like selenium, her clarity improved. "I thought tuna was safe," she said, her voice tinged with relief. A 2022 neurology study linked high mercury exposure to a 25% increased dementia risk in seniors, particularly those eating large fish weekly. Mercury's effects are insidious, accumulating over years, impairing speech, balance, and cognition, symptoms often mistaken for normal aging. The FDA advises limiting albacore to 1 4-ounce serving per week for seniors, but safer options exist. Skipjack or light tuna has lower mercury, but even then, moderation is key. Practical takeaway: avoid canned albacore tuna. Choose skipjack sparingly or better seafoods. Check labels for species and origin. Ask, how can you replace tuna with safer proteins? Section 3. Farm-raised catfish, comfort food with hidden toxins. Farm-raised catfish, a southern favorite, hides a toxic cocktail of antibiotics, hormones, and banned chemicals like malachite green, linked to liver toxicity and cancer. Carcinogenesis, 2021. Over 80% of U.S. catfish is imported from Vietnam or China, raised in polluted ponds. FDA, 2023. Frank, a 76-year-old mechanic, suffered indigestion, rashes, and fatigue from weekly fried catfish. Tests showed liver strain from nitrofuran metabolites. Switching to cleaner proteins eased his symptoms. Senior's slower metabolism amplifies these risks, increasing inflammation and immune suppression. Practical takeaway: avoid farm-raised catfish, choose wild-caught or U.S.-sourced if necessary. Ask, is your catfish sourced safely, or can you swap it for a better option? Section 4. Sardines, the tiny fish for longevity. Sardines, small and low in mercury, are packed with omega-3s, calcium, vitamin D, and B12, reducing inflammation and supporting bones and brain. American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2020. Evelyn, 72, improved bone density and balance after adding sardines twice weekly. A 2022 Journal of Nutrition study found oily fish like sardines cut cardiovascular death risk by 36% in seniors. Eat canned sardines in olive oil, no added salt, for maximum benefits. Practical takeaway: eat sardines 1 to 2 times weekly, grilled or in salads. Try with lemon and herbs. Reflect. Can you embrace sardines for their anti-aging power? Section 5. Wild-caught Alaskan salmon, the healing fish. Wild-caught Alaskan salmon, rich in EPA, DHA, and astaxanthin, reduces inflammation, boosts heart health, and protects cognition. Harvard Medical School, 2021. Robert, 77, saw lower blood pressure and renewed energy after eating salmon twice weekly. A 2023 neurology study showed a 35% lower cognitive decline risk with regular fatty fish. Choose wild sockeye or coho, avoiding farmed varieties with dyes and antibiotics. Practical takeaway: grill or bake wild salmon 2 to 3 times weekly. Pair with greens for balance. Ask, how can you make wild salmon a kitchen staple? Section 6. Atlantic mackerel, the energy superfish. Atlantic mackerel, low in mercury and high in omega-3s, B12, and CoQ10, fuels mitochondria, boosting energy and cognition. Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging, 2020. Linda, 73, regained clarity and stamina after adding mackerel twice weekly. Its affordability and sustainability make it ideal for seniors. Pan-sear or grill for best flavor. Practical takeaway: include mackerel 1 to 2 times weekly, seared with olive oil. Reflect. Can mackerel replace a less healthy protein in your diet? Section 7. Building the perfect senior seafood plate. Combine sardines, wild salmon, and mackerel weekly for a balanced, anti-inflammatory diet. A sample plan: Monday, sardine salad. Wednesday, grilled salmon with greens. Friday, mackerel with sweet potatoes. Avoid tilapia, albacore tuna, and farm-raised catfish to reduce toxins and inflammation. A 2022 Journal of Geriatric study found that consistent whole food diets cut chronic disease risk by 30%. Pair seafood with vegetables and whole grains for synergy. Check sourcing, prioritize wild-caught, and eat with intention. Practical takeaway: plan 2 to 3 seafood meals weekly with sardines, salmon, or mackerel. Read labels for wild-caught origins. Ask, how can you build a seafood routine that heals? Conclusion: your seafood choices are more than meals. They're decisions that shape your heart, brain, and joints. Tilapia, albacore tuna, and farm-raised catfish, laden with inflammatory fats and toxins, can erode your health, as George, Carol, and Frank learned painfully. But sardines, wild-caught Alaskan salmon, and Atlantic mackerel, packed with omega-3s and nutrients, can rebuild vitality, as Evelyn, Robert, and Linda discovered. Science confirms their power. Oily fish reduce cardiovascular and cognitive decline risks by up to 36%. American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2022. Start tonight with a sardine salad or grilled salmon. Share in the comments. What's one seafood you'll add or avoid? Let's inspire each other to age with strength, clarity, and joy. As we've journeyed through this guide, one truth stands clear. The medical tests you trust to protect your health can sometimes silently push you closer to a stroke, especially after 60. From CT scans with contrast dye that spike blood pressure to exercise stress tests that strain fragile arteries. From sedated endoscopies to MRIs with lingering gadolinium. From routine carotid ultrasounds leading to risky surgeries to overused home blood pressure monitors fueling dangerous medication tweaks. From dental injections with epinephrine to anti-VEGF treatments disrupting vascular balance. Each carries hidden risks that can change your life overnight. These aren't abstract dangers. They're real as Ray, Margaret, Eleanor, Harold, Helen, Walter K. and Lorraine learned through slurred speech, weakness, or lost independence. A 2022 stroke study estimates that up to 10% of ischemic strokes in seniors may stem from medical interventions, often within 24 to 48 hours. Yet, this isn't about fear, it's about taking control. Your body at 60, 70, or 80 isn't the same as it was at 40. Blood vessels grow fragile, kidneys slow, and hearts tire under stress. Modern medicine, with its one-size-fits-all protocols, often overlooks these changes, scheduling tests just to be safe, without weighing your unique risks. But you have the power to change that. By asking critical questions. Is this test essential? What are the risks for my age and conditions? Are there safer alternatives? What if we wait? You can protect your brain, your mobility, your independence. A 2021 Journal of Geriatric study found that seniors who actively questioned medical decisions had 20% fewer adverse outcomes. Your voice isn't just a right, it's a shield. Imagine waking tomorrow with the confidence that you've safeguarded your health, not by blindly following orders, but by demanding clarity. Ray's stroke after a CT scan, Margaret's weakness post-stress test, Eleanor's confusion following a colonoscopy. These weren't inevitable. They were moments where a pause, a question, or a no could have rewritten their stories. You're not just a patient. You're a partner in your care. Every test you agree to is a choice, and every choice shapes your future. A 2020 American Journal of Cardiology study reminds us that informed patients live longer, healthier lives, not because they avoid medicine, but because they engage with it wisely. This guide is your wake-up call. The next time your doctor suggests a scan, procedure, or injection, don't just nod. Ask why. Ask about risks specific to your age, medications, and history. Ask if waiting or choosing a less invasive option is safer. You're not being difficult, you're being wise. You're protecting the only brain and body you'll ever have. And you're not alone. Across America, seniors are waking up to these truths, rethinking routine tests, and reclaiming their health. I've seen it in patients who questioned unnecessary MRIs and avoided gadolinium's risks, or who opted for monitoring over surgery and stayed independent. Their stories prove that knowledge is your greatest ally. Now, I want to hear from you. Your experiences, your questions, your insights, they matter. They could inspire someone else to pause before a risky test, to ask the right question, to save their independence. In the comments, share one thing you've learned from this guide. Maybe it's a test you'll question next time, like a CT scan or stress test. Maybe it's a story of a procedure that left you feeling off, or a time you trusted your gut and said, no. Perhaps you're wondering about a specific test for yourself or a loved one. Tell us what it is. Let's build a community where we support each other, share wisdom, and age with strength. Type 1 if this guide opened your eyes, or 0 if there's something I can explain better. And don't stop there. Share a specific lesson or question. For example, I'm 68 from Texas, and I'll ask about gadolinium risks before my next MRI. Have you ever questioned a test? Or, I had a stress test and felt dizzy after. Should I be worried? Your voice could spark a life-changing conversation. This isn't just about avoiding harm. It's about living fully. The goal of medicine isn't to catch every possible issue. It's to preserve your ability to laugh with friends, walk your dog, or read to your grandkids. Every question you ask, every test you scrutinize, is a step toward that life. So start tonight. Reflect on your next appointment. Write down one question you'll ask your doctor. Share it in the comments to hold yourself accountable and inspire others. Let's make just to be safe mean truly safe for seniors. Don't let these lessons fade. Like, share, and subscribe to stay empowered with health tips tailored for you. Your feedback fuels this community. Tell us what topics you want next, like which medications raise stroke risk, or safe alternatives to common tests. Together, we can rewrite the story of aging, not as a series of risks, but as a journey of strength, clarity, and joy. Thank you for joining me. Here's to living life on your terms, with every question you ask and every choice you make.